Yes, ma'am.
And
Yes.
have any one of you attended any counseling session in the study centers? Are you in touch with your study center?
Yes, madam.
No, ma'am.
Many
Yes.
places actually, many places study centers have not started yet the induction program or the counseling. So please contact your regional center for that or contact your study center, and don't miss the practical counseling. Try to attend the theory counseling also. If you miss the theory counseling, it's still okay. You have the books, you can read and understand the subjects, but don't miss your practical counseling because that will not be repeated. And the counseling, practical counseling during the induction program also, I explained that it's very important to attend because in practical counseling you have the hands-on training, hands-on experience of doing how to do the chemical analysis or the microbiological analysis or the food safety based practicals. So that will not only enhance your knowledge, that will give you the good scores also because 70% of the practical marks you'll get from the regular practical counseling session. Only 30% weightage is for the final practical exam. So don't think that you will miss the program. It's regular practical class and you'll just write the exam. If you want to get a good score, attend all the practicals, right? And I hope after the induction program, at least you have gone through the program guide and you have seen the project guidelines. You know that in your program, you have to do the project in the first year. For PG diploma also, you have to do the project work, project course. And for master students, you have to do one dissertation in the second year, one seminar in the second year, and also there is one MOOC, massive open online course, compulsory course, theory course in the second year of MSc. So I'll talk about all these four components today. So now there are 126 students. So just allow me some time for sharing the presentation. Is it visible? Is the slide visible to you?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
fine.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So once again, I welcome you all, the students of the Masters and the PG Diploma program in Food Safety and Quality Management, to this online counseling session today. Today, we'll discuss the project course, dissertation course, seminar course, and the MOOC course. For PG Diploma student, project course code is MBPP003. And the same for the MSc first year, MBPP003. And this project course is of 8 credits. Nishanji, could you please switch off your microphone? I request all the students to switch off your microphone so that you don't create any unnecessary noise for others. Okay. After the presentation, we'll have the interaction with the students. So PG Diploma and Master students, you need to do one project course with code is MBPP003, which is of 8 credits in the first year. And Master students, you will also have to do one dissertation course, that is MBPP002, which is of 16 credits. And there is one more project course in the second year for those students only. For those students only who has taken the lateral entry into the master's program, and the students of PG Diploma programs who have completed PG Diploma before 2023, they actually completed the PG Diploma with 32 credits. That time the project course was of 4 credits only. That's why they need to do additional 4 credits project work in the second year. If any one of you have taken lateral entry with the 32 credits PG Diploma, then you have to do this additional project course MBPP004, which is of 4 credits. Then there is another compulsory component in MSc program second year, that is the theory MOOC, massive open online course. The course title is the self-life extension that offered by the Nobel Technologies for the self-life extension of the food. So that is offered by IIT Kharagpur through the platform of SWAYAM platform. Okay, so the admission is still going on. If you have completed first year of your master's program, please register in that MOOC course in the SWM platform, SWM NPTEL platform. The program is available, and immediately join that course. Go through all the video lectures, they are available, and the study materials they're uploaded. But you have to submit your assignment to the IGNOU, and you have to write the IGNOU examination for this MOOC course also. So that MOOC course is MBP 008, which is of 3 credits. And for master students, you have to present one seminar. That is the seminar course MBPS 001, which is of 1 credit. So let us have a quick look at the objectives of the project work. Why do you need to do this kind of project in your first year or for the PG diploma programs? The basic objective of this project work is to develop your capabilities for comprehensive analysis of the implementation of good hygienic practice, good manufacturing practice, HACCP, QMS, FSMS in a food establishment, or other food safety and quality related issues. And another objective is also to help you to conduct the investigation in a systematic way. In the form of this project, when you will do this project, you will learn how to go for the other research studies. So you'll know what are the different steps you need to follow, how to write the synopsis, how to write the project report, and how to conduct the actual research work. So that is the purpose of this project work. And we have used some words like the QMS. Can anyone of you tell me what is the full form of QMS?
Quality management system.
Very good. So we have an international standard for QMS. What is the number of that ISO standard? Do you know the number?
9,000, 2,000.
9,000 is very good. ISO 9,000 is for quality management system. And what is FSMS?
27,000.
Food safety management system.
Management system, and the ISO standards for that ISO 22,000 series. Okay. And there are other ISO standards like for the environmental management system, EMS, that is ISO 14,000. There is one for laboratory management system, so that is ISO 17,025. Right. So all of these ISO standards you will study in the theory course, which is MBPP 004. I hope you have gone through the study materials you have seen. So for doing your project work also, what you need to do first, whether your study center has conducted any online counseling or face-to-face theory counseling or not, please read the study materials so that you can decide your project topic and you can work on your project topic. Because we are running late, the admission went on till the mid-October, and the registration were confirmed after November, December. So already 6 months gone for your first year session. Please read the study materials, whichever is available to you. If you have not received yet the hard copy, please access the soft copy, which is available in the eGyan course platform and IGNOU e-content app. So the objectives of the dissertation is a kind of your research work only in the second year of master's program. So objective is to develop your capacity for conducting a research in any emerging issues in food safety and quality area. So my request to all the students, again, I'm telling you the first counseling session induction program, I also told you to go through the program guide. So please read the program guide, which is available in IGNOU website. If you go to IGNOU website, you visit the About Us. There is one link for About Us, about IGNOU. There you will see the School of Agriculture. In the School of Agriculture web page, you will see there are list of programs. The programs link, you will find the link for the PG Diploma program and the Master's program. In each program, you will find there is a link for the program guide. So these are the program guide. Please read the program guide for all the general information and specifically for the project guidelines, because your program guide contains the project guidelines. And in project guidelines, you will find it for the MBPP 003, that is a first year project. And the same guidelines you will also follow for your dissertation in the second year. So what should be your approach for this project work or dissertation? So what you can do, where you can do, and how you can do. What you can do, you can choose any topic which you have studied in your PG Diploma or your Master's program, or any relevant emerging issues. Relevant, I mean to say, it has to be related with your food safety or food quality issues. Right? So you can choose any topic. Then where you can do this project work or dissertation, you can do in your study center if they allow you. Otherwise, if you are working in any food industry, you can do it there also. If you're working in a food testing lab, you can do there also. If you have access to any of this food testing lab or research lab or packaging unit, hospitality, retail or street food, means if you don't find any facility for doing your project work, choose such kind of topic which you can complete without help of any testing lab or research lab or study center. So for that, for example, you can study some of the hygienic or manufacturing practices which are followed by the local food vendors, local restaurants or hotels or street food vendors. That kind of topic also you can choose, right? Then how you can do it means what should be your approach. It has to be a practice oriented, not only literature based exercise or theory based exercise. So you have to do something hands on. You have to collect some primary data. For example, you cannot do it it's totally based on the literature survey, right? And while you are choosing your topic, please remember that the topic should be, the project work or dissertation should be a challenging one, but at the same time it has to be manageable within the resources and the time available. So resources, I mean to say, if you want to choose such topic, like you want to go for analysis of pesticide residues in a food, and if you don't have access to any of the research lab or food testing lab, so it won't be possible for you to complete that project work. So if you have access, then only you choose such topic. Otherwise, don't go for that topic. So it has to be manageable within the resources and time also. Because for doing your project work in the first year of MSc or for the PG diploma program, you will maximum get 30 days time. So you just think of a topic, means not a very elaborate study, very specific study. You go for very specific study with 2 to 3 or maximum 4 objectives, so that you can complete the project work within the time limit. For dissertation, you can spend at least 3 to 4 months time. So for dissertation work, research work in the master's program second year, you can think that way. The topic can have elaborate study. Broad themes can include the GHP, GMP, HACCP, quality management system, food safety management system. You can also develop some training modules for different categories, different stakeholders, training modules for the street food vendors or the lower level workers, food handlers in the food industry, or middle level food handlers, or the higher authority in the food industry. So you can go for different types of training module development. You can also have some study on related to food laws and standards. Can any one of you tell me which is the food regulatory authority in India?
FSCI.
FSCI.
And I hope that
FSSI.
request you that please visit the FSI website regularly. So FSI website is www.fssai.gov.in. Please visit that one for all the updates. You can update your knowledge regarding all the food safety and standards. As a student of food safety and quality management, you must have knowledge of all the rules and regulations which are applicable in our country. So there are so many regulations which have already been implemented in our country regarding the food safety and quality. All the regulations are available in that website. So please go through that regulations. In your second course, that MEP 002, that is about the food laws and standards, right? There you have studied about different Indian food laws and standards and also some international standards. So you can choose a topic for this implementation of the standards, and you can study the different components of the standards. Then you can also choose a topic for your project work. For analysis of food products, you can go for chemical analysis, microbiological analysis, sensory analysis, that kind of thing also you can think of. And this study can be a comprehensive case study. It can be a comparison of practices, validation of theory, survey of quality management system or food safety management system. You can go for field study, you can go for lab study, depending on the resources available to you. If you have access to lab, you go for lab study. If you don't have, then you go for field study. So what are the steps you need to follow for doing your project or dissertation? First thing, you need to identify your supervisor. So this is the challenge for you, because you are a student of open and distance learning. you are not attached with any classroom teaching. For regularly classroom teaching, you don't have regular teachers, but you have academic counselors in your study centers. But there is also limitation. One academic counselor can maximum take 6 students for supervising, right? So first you approach your academic counselor. If they agree to be your guide supervisor, then that is very good. Otherwise, you can request the faculty from School of Agriculture also. That is my colleagues here. But here also, we already have students, so probably we won't be able to help you much. Then what you can do, because that is a compulsory component, you should have a supervisor for your project or dissertation. You can request any college or university teacher who teaches the relevant subjects, like the eligibility criteria for being the supervisor, that is also given there in your program guide. So any teacher who is teaching food technology, food science, food and nutrition, home science or microbiology, chemistry, biotechnology, or veterinary science, fishery science, agriculture, dairy science, even the MBBS doctor. So, along with this master's degree in the relevant subject and the teaching experience, college or university teachers, no, not the school teachers, right? And if they have 3 to 5 years of teaching experience, they can be your supervisor. If you don't find any supervisor from any college or university, then you can also request the professionals from the food industry who are working in the food industry, but they must have the same master's degree in that relevant subject area, which I already mentioned and which are also mentioned in the program guide. And they should also have the industrial experience of 3 to 5 years. If someone doesn't have 5 years of experience, 3 years is okay. If even doesn't have 3 years, 2 years is also okay. But the person needs to have master's degree in the relevant subject and some experience, right? So first thing, you need to identify the supervisor, and then you have to prepare your project synopsis. For that, you need the guidance of your supervisor. So along with the you just discuss with the supervisor, prepare the synopsis. Next part is submission of synopsis. You have to submit it to the regional center. Don't send it at the study center, don't send it to the headquarters to me. Please submit it at the regional center. Visit regularly the regional center website if you find there, and the IGNU website. So your duty is to visit regularly the IGNU main website and the regional center website. If there is any link for submission of project synopsis, online link is there, submit it online. Otherwise, you send it through post. Submit the hard copy to the regional center. Then wait for their approval. The regional center will let you know about the approval or disapproval, rejection of your project synopsis. And same with the dissertation synopsis. So after the approval from the RC, you can work on your project or dissertation, do the actual project work, dissertation work, write the report, then submit the report, the final report, project report or the dissertation report to the concerned regional center. So this I already explained to you. This eligibility for project supervisor, it is mentioned there in the project guidelines. I've already told you this one, so I'll not repeat. So what you should do for writing your project synopsis or dissertation synopsis. Synopsis should be around 500 to 600 words. Not write too many pages for synopsis. And the components which should be there in your synopsis, those are already mentioned on your project guide. I'm telling you, the first thing you need to mention clearly the project topic. Then you write it 1 or 2 paragraph on introduction, introduce the topic. Then there should be the objectives, which should be the achievable and the measurable one, because what you actually want to achieve through your project work, that will be your objectives. Then hypothesis, if there is any hypothesis, you can write that one. Then you have to give a little bit of the methodology. What are the tools and techniques you are going to use for doing your project or dissertation? What is the population size or sample size, if any? You should mention there in the research methodology. Then you have to write a paragraph on implications of your project. Means why do you want to do this project? What will be the after use of this project work? That is the implication of project for food safety and quality management. And after that introduction part, you should add at least 2 to 3 relevant review of literature. You can also mention the schedule of your project. That is not compulsory part. You can give the listing of activities, and at the end of the project synopsis, you must give the 2 to 3 references. So whatever you have mentioned in your review of literature or methodology part, if you used any references, please give the details of that reference at the end of the synopsis. So now I'll give you example of one project synopsis or dissertation synopsis. If suppose you want to take the topic, you choose a topic like the study on the hygienic practices followed by the street food vendors in Delhi. So this is your project topic or dissertation topic. Next part, you have to write the introduction. Introduction means you introduce that project topic or dissertation. Why have you chosen that topic? What is the need of that kind of study that you have to establish through your introduction part? So here for an example, I've written like street food is an essential part of urban life in India, particularly in Delhi, where thousands of vendors provide affordable, accessible, and culturally rich meals to a large population daily. However, the hygienic practices of these vendors are often questionable, largely due to limited awareness, poor infrastructure, and lack of regulatory enforcement. Unhygienic conditions during food preparation, handling, and storage can lead to foodborne diseases, posing serious public health risks. This research aims to assess and analyze the hygienic practices of street food vendors in Delhi to understand existing challenges and suggest actionable improvements. So that is in the last part of your this introduction paragraph, you have to establish your actual purpose of this project work. And to establish this, you need to write 2 to 3, minimum 3 to 4 means maximum review of literature, because that will help you to actually give the examples of the what are the similar kind of studies have already been done in that area. Relevant literatures you have to mention here, and from there you can tell that there is a gap, research gap from the previous study, which information is not available from the previous study. So you are going to take up that part only. So there is a research gap in that area. So you want to do your project or dissertation to fill up that research gap, to address those issues which have already not been done by any other researchers. For example, review of literature, here you have written like several studies have highlighted the public health concerns associated with street food vending. According to Kapoor and Sharma, within bracket 2018, this is the APS style of citing. Okay. Could you please, someone's speaker is still on, switch off your microphone, please. So for all the master students, you have a theory course in your second year, that is the research methodology. In research methodology course, you must have read about how to do your research work, what are the different components, how to write the objectives, how to write the research methodology, and how to write review of literature, how to write the bibliography or references, how to cite the references. So all the things you have read in your theory. For PG diploma students, you can also have a quick look at that research methodology course, which is available in the eGAN course for the MSc program. So you know how to write the citations. Like here I have mentioned as a yellow colored highlighted part, you see Kapoor and Sharma. If there are two authors, you can write Kapoor and one author name and the second author name. And within bracket, within parentheses, you can write the year of the publications. That's the way of writing the citation. So according to Kapoor and Sharma, 2018, a large percentage of street food vendors lack basic knowledge of food safety and personal hygiene. Then second reference, the second highlighted yellow highlighted part, Datta and Lakhani, 2020. Third one, you can see Gupta and Singh, 2019. Even you can quote here like the fourth one, World Health Organization, 2015. If there are more than two authors, you can write the first author's name, then et al. For example, Kapoor et al. 2020. So likewise, you can write the references, you can quote the references here in the review of literature part. You please quote only those references, literature which are relevant to your study. And after this review of literature, you just read the last sentence of this review of literature that says, these studies underline the urgent need to evaluate and improve hygiene standards in this informal sector. That's the way you can link your study with the previous study, and that is the research gap you are going to address through your project work or your dissertation. Third important component is the objectives. So for all your project or dissertation work, you need to write the objectives. What is your ultimate purpose of this project work? What you are going to achieve through this project or research work? So you can write, like for this example of street food vendors, study on street food vendors, the project research study is guided by the following objectives. You see, when you write the objectives, you start the sentence with to do something, right? So first thing, you need to evaluate the current hygiene practices of street food vendors in different parts of Delhi. Second objective can be to identify the knowledge gaps and awareness levels among vendors regarding the food safety and hygiene. Third objectives can be to examine the environmental and infrastructural condition affecting food hygiene. And fourth, through this project research, if you want to go for recommending something for policy and training, you can mention that as your fourth objective, like that, to provide recommendations for policy and training interventions to improve the food safety in general or in Delhi street food vending areas. Right, so this way you can write the objectives. Whenever you are writing, you start with the to evaluate, to identify, to examine, to analyze, to recommend, to suggest. So that kind of sentence you should write for the objectives. Then research methodology. For this research, you can write like this study will adopt a mixed methods approach. Why you call it a mixed method? Because there will be some quantitative data, some qualitative data. So that's why it is a mixed methods of approach, combining quantitative and qualitative data collection techniques. For sampling, you can write like the research will cover 50 street food vendors, 100 street food vendors, depending upon your capacity. You should write it like 50 street food vendors across 5 key areas in Delhi. The areas maybe the Chandni Chowk, Connaught Place, Lajpat Nagar, Kotalbagh. So whatever is your population and the sample size, you should mention it very clearly in the methodology. How many street food vendors you are going to address, in which area you are going to do that study, that you have to mention. Then the sampling technique, you can write like the stratified random sampling will ensure a balanced representation based on the vendor size and food type. So there are different types of sampling. Random sampling is there, means probability, non-probability sampling, which are given in the research methodology. Please go through that theory course. Then data collection. For data collection, how you collect the data? It's primary data you have to collect, so you can go for some observational studies. So for that, you can prepare some checklist. So observational checklist, on-site observation using a standardized checklist to record the hygiene practices such as hand washing, utensil cleanliness, means whatever is related with the good hygienic practices followed by the food vendors. You can make, depending on that, you can make a checklist. And you can go and visit that street food vendors along with your checklist, and you just observe whatever the practices they are following, and you can take a note of that. Then you can go also for interviewing the street food vendors. So there can be a structured interviews, semi-structured interviews, or structured interviews with the vendors to assess their awareness of hygiene practices and challenges they faced. Whatever the challenges they are facing, you cannot get that data through their observational checklist. So you can have interaction with the vendors and you can get that idea through your interview. Then after this data collection, you have to analyze the data. So for data analysis, you can write like quantitative data will be analyzed using descriptive statistics, maybe with the help of the frequency or the mean or percentage like that. And you will, from your interviews, you will also get some qualitative data. So that qualitative data, you can code that qualitative data, and you can analyze them by the thematical analysis to extract the common patterns of the feedback or answers. Then you have to write after the research methodology, complete research methodology, you have to write the future implications of the study. The future implication for this street food vendor study, you can write like the study's findings will be relevant for several stakeholders, for policymakers and municipal authorities. It can help shape the targeted food safety regulations and urban planning strategies. The NGOs and public health organizations can use the insights to design educational and training programs for street vendors. Ultimately, improving hygiene practices among street food vendors can significantly reduce foodborne illness and enhance public health outcomes in urban India. So this way you can write the future implications of your study. After future implication, you need to give the references or the bibliography. So references, whatever reference you have quoted in your review of literature or in your research methodology, you have to give the detail of the references here. You can see here for examples of 4 or 5 references. And there is a certain style of writing the references. In your theory, probably you have read about the APS style, Harvard style. Okay? So normally you follow the APS style, the American Psychological Association APS style. So APS style of writing, if you see the second one, the first one also you can see, it starts with the surname of the author, first author surname, then their initial of the name, then it is followed by the second author's name. First surname comes, then the first name. Then after the name of the authors, there should be within parentheses, there should be the year of publication. Then the title of their research article, or if it is a book, then the title of that chapter, book chapters, then the name of the books. In case of journal, then the name of the journals. Journals name you can write in italics. Then the volume of the journal, the issue number of the journal, then the page number of the journal. If it is an online journal available, then keep the DOI details of their journals. For book, you write the book chapters, then the page number, then the publisher's details. If you are quoting any website like that World Health Organization, if you see the examples here in the fourth example, that is the World Health Organization 2015 street food and food safety fact sheet. So detail up, then give the website link, and you can also you should also write actually, which I missed here, that on which date you have retrieved the data, because the online sites that can be updated later on. If I want to recheck it, there may not be the same information, same page available. So you please write that data is retrieved on such and such date. Okay, so this is the style of writing the references, and references should be written in the alphabetical one. Just to help you how to write your objectives, I'll give few more examples with few more topics like this is the topic: investigation of the successful execution of corrective action and preventive action in an organization in accordance with quality management system. So if you have studied the theory part already, the HACCP component or the quality management system or the food safety management system, so you know what are the corrective actions and preventive actions. Can any one of you tell me the difference between the correction and corrective action? I hope all of you have studied the HACCP, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
What are the principles of HACCP?
Hazard analysis and critical control point.
Very good. Okay. You know there are 7 principles, main principles. Right? So,
Conduct hazard analysis.
Determine critical control point. Establish critical limit. Monitoring procedures. Establish corrective action. Establish verification process.
Ma'am, your mic is muted.
Ma'am, you were not audible.
Ma'am, you're on mute.
Ma'am, your mic is on mute.
Ma'am, you are not audible.
Your mic is on mute, ma'am.
No, now I think it's audible, right? But you
Yes.
cannot see the
Now it's okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
It's
ma'am.
okay.
So let me share again the means how long I was muted that I don't know.
No, not more than not more than 1 minute.
I think just 1 minute. Last 1 minute.
Okay, fine. So we can see the slide now.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So we are discussing about the principles of HACCP, and one from your side actually told about all the principles, and there was one for corrective actions, corrections and corrective actions. This
Total
project
HACCP
is
7 principles is there, madam.
yes, main 7 principles are there. So you started with conduct the hazard analysis, then critical control point, then critical limits, then monitoring, then verification, okay, then corrective actions, then record keeping. So for corrective actions, this particular topic is related to that part: correction, corrective action, and preventing action in an organization in accordance with
Internal audit,
system.
internal auditing for identification. Next auditing is it for the corrections is submitted the audit reports, madam. Internal cross checking, any objections are cross checking. After immediately corrections submit the auditors.
Okay, can you give one example of one correction? Suppose I am baking a product. Okay,
Okay.
I'm baking cookies, and the baking is the state that is my critical control point. So I'm monitoring that point. And if I find that
Temperature is that make a problem, madam. Making the temperatures.
in verification, if you say that see that the temperature was not the exact the desired one, what will you do? Will you take the corrective actions immediately or the correction immediately?
Immediately reprocess, madam.
So reprocessing, decision of a reprocessing is your correction or corrective action?
Correction, madam.
So it is the immediate action, whatever you decide, that is your correction. So
Correction.
that is for the means temporary solution, right?
Yes.
But the corrective action means you when you analyze the root cause of that problem, why the temperature was not maintained. So what is the problem with that baking unit? So when you find out that one and you correct that one, so that is your corrective action. That is a permanent solution to that problem. Right? So this is the study for correction, corrective action, and preventive action. Preventive actions always you do before doing that work, right? So before starting that baking, you
Means, ma'am, the corrective action which we are going to take, that will become the SOP for everyone, right?
yes. Correction, you take immediate action. You decided that okay, the temperature was not right, so we'll go for reprocessing. Again, the same next batch can have same problem. So you have to think of your corrective actions. That will give you the permanent solution. So what you do, you analyze the root cause of that problem. Then you go for the corrective actions. This project is related to that one only. So I'm giving the examples how to write the objectives. So first objective, this I have taken from someone, actually one of the student actually submitted the project work. So all the objectives may not be the correct one, but how to write this. First objective is to examine the current practices of correction, corrective action, and the preventive action. So what is the current practices in that industry that has to be examined first? Please switch off your microphone. Someone's microphone is still on. Okay.
One thing I need to ask,
Yes.
you are saying that we will write down the reference from where we take. So in future, will be in a legal action also, or we need a consent from that particular person or a book, like you would say. For example, for me, I am observing that processing food is nowadays become very challenging for the people. For that, if I need a data, if I take a reference from like any book or something, shall we go in a legal action also in the
No.
future? Or
See,
need a consent
you
from
don't
that person
you check the
or
plagiarism.
the writer?
You see, you can quote any book or any reference material with the due reference details. You have to give the due credit to that. So you have to quote it properly. You should not write anyone's observation as it is. From any paper, any article as it is, you cannot quote. So that will be a problem, create a problem for an examination. Okay, but if you give the due credits, if you cite it properly, give the details of the reference, that is allowed. That is something is corporate issue to take the permission from CDETA, but otherwise in general for any paper publication, any book, you can take references, but check the plagiarism. You don't quote it as it is. Yes.
क्या वाइवा इंक्लूड है डिसर्टेशन या प्रोजेक्ट वाइवा?
नहीं है. If you wait till the end of this presentation, I'll give you all the basic information, right? So then we will have the. May I request you to please wait till the end of this presentation, and I request again to switch off the microphone, whoever is speaking right now. Otherwise, Chandraprakash जी, जिनका microphone on है, please उनको off कर दीजिएगा. Okay, then we are discussing about the objectives, how to write the objectives. First objective was to examine the current practices. Second one is to assess the effectiveness of the organization's correction process. So they have taken, means that student has started 3 different component: correction, corrective action, and preventive action. So he has divided these 3 components, 3 objectives. First one is to assess the effectiveness of the organization correction process in promptly identifying and rectifying non-conformities. Second one, to evaluate the implementation and impact of corrective actions. And third is that to investigate the organization approach to preventive actions and its effectiveness. Then to identify any challenges faced by the organization in executing the successful correction, corrective action, and preventive. This is the whole, these are the 5 objectives for this study the student has undertaken. So likewise, you can also think of deciding the objectives of your study. Another example, this is for the study of the physicochemical and microbiological profile of a whey-based drink fortified with betel leaf and gulkand. The student has written 4 objectives, 5 objectives in fact. You see the first objective he has written like that: to study physical and chemical parameters of whey-based beverage prepared with addition of betel leaf extract and gulkand. And you see the third objective is written to prepare whey-based drink. So if you take that kind of research, then you should write the third objective first. First you prepare the drink, then you go for the study of that physical and chemical parameters, right? First you need to prepare the drink. The third objective should come first, to prepare whey-based drink. Second can be to study the physical and chemical parameters. Third will be that to study microbiological profile, because from the topic itself, it says the physicochemical and microbiological profile. So you can divide it into 2 parts. One is physicochemical and another one is microbiological study. Another objective the student has mentioned: to determine organoleptic parameters of whey-based drink fortified with betel leaf. But it is not a part of that study. It was not mentioned in the topic. So you should not write any such kind of objectives which is not part of your topic. Then fifth one is that to study the antimicrobial properties. That is also not possible to do through this study. So you don't write that type of objectives. Another example, the project topic is development of training modules for workers on GHP and GMP for food manufacturing industry. The student has identified only 3 objectives. First one is to create the training modules for the workers of food manufacturing company. Second was to create questionnaires for evaluation of effectiveness of GHP, GMP training. Third one is to create easy to understand modules with pictures, examples, and real incidents. But I think there should be, the first one should be to study them. It's what is the knowledge gaps, in which area the workers need the training. So that should be your first objective. On the basis of that, you can create the training module. And you can also go for implementation of the training module. You can write that objective also, the implementation of training module for the workers. And another objective you can suggest the improvement or changes you need. Here, one more example. The project topic is development of training modules for middle management, for internal audit, and concept and implementation of HACCP. Objectives, there are 5 objectives the students have identified. First one, the student has written like conduct comprehensive needs. But I told you that the objective should be written like to conduct a comprehensive need. Second one, to develop the customized training modules. Third one could be to incorporate interactive and practical learning experiences. So add the 2 word, then start with the verb. Here you can see the objective like the conduct a comprehensive needs assessment. First you do the need assessment to identify the knowledge gaps. If you are going to develop any training module, first you need to know what are the knowledge gaps. So that should be your first objective. Second objective is develop customized training modules that align with the identified needs and preferences of middle managers. Whatever the detail is there, you should write that one. Third is written as the to incorporate interactive and practical learning experience within the training modules. Then can be to provide the clear guidance and practical tools within the training modules. Lastly, to evaluate the effectiveness of the training module. That means you will apply the training module on the workers or on a target group, and then you just evaluate whether the training module was effective or not. That can be done through the feedback mechanism.
मैम आई हैव अ डाउट।
Yes.
मैम इस वाले में मैम अगर हम लोग जहाँ पे मैम ट्रेनिंग कर रहे हैं, अगर जैसे मिल्क इंडस्ट्री में ट्रेनिंग कर रहे हैं, तो मैम बेसिकली उसके रिगार्डिंग ही है सबके, अगर क्या बोलते हैं पॉइंट्स क्या क्या है, मॉड्यूल उस हिसाब से बना सकते हैं।
हाँ, तो वो तो आपके फूड स्पेसिफिक एरिया में, आपको जनरल नहीं बोलना, जिस इंडस्ट्री में जा रहे हो उस इंडस्ट्री का करना है।
ओके ओके मैम,
ठीक है,
ठीक है। यस मैम।
एक्सक्यूज मी मैम, गुड इवनिंग मैम।
यस, गुड इवनिंग
मैम जैसे मिल इंडस्ट्री है तो एक्चुअली जो फर्स्ट ईयर हम कर चुके हैं, तो मेरा बहुत ज्यादा मतलब मैंने उस पे ही लिख दिया है, तो मेरे को सेकंड टॉपिक तो मतलब समझ ही नहीं आ रहा है कि उस पे मैं क्या लिखूंगी, क्योंकि टेस्टिंग वगैरह या सब कुछ तो मैंने उसी में लिख दिया फर्स्ट प्रोजेक्ट में। तो सेकंड
फर्स्ट प्रोजेक्ट में क्या था आपका टॉपिक?
मैम वही था जैसे व्हीट फ्लावर को लेके ही था कि मैदा कैसे बनता, उससे कैसे कैसे क्या बनता, उसको कैसे हम क्या क्या बना सकते हैं, ऐसे ही सब कुछ जैसे वो बन रहा है उस पे ही टेस्टिंग, जितने भी मेरे पास टेस्ट हो रहे हैं 3-4 जो भी है, एक्चुअली मैगी और ब्रेड वगैरह जैसे बनता है। तो मैं कोई और टॉपिक ले सकती हूँ या मुझे कोई और?
आप कितना प्रोडक्ट उसमें लिए थे? जो प्रोडक्ट लिए थे वो प्रोडक्ट मत लो, या जो प्रोडक्ट आप लिए थे उसमें जितना आपने स्टडी किया था, जो पैरामीटर्स, बहुत सारे केमिकल पैरामीटर्स, बहुत सारे फिजिकल पैरामीटर्स और माइक्रोबायोलॉजिकल और सेंसरी पैरामीटर्स हैं, जो आपने ऑलरेडी एड्रेस किया है वो आप ऐड कर सकते हैं सेकंड में।
मैम माइक्रो वाला नहीं है हमारे पास, 3-4 ही टेस्ट होते हैं, तो वो सारा मेरे 4-5 जितना भी थे सारे मैंने उसी में ऐड कर दिए।
अगर सेम लाइन पे आप करना चाहते हैं, यू कैन गो फॉर द इलेबोरेट स्टडी ऑफ दैट सेम पैरामीटर्स। आप माइक्रोबायोलॉजी किसी अदर टेस्टिंग लैब टेस्ट से करा सकते हैं तो करा सकते हैं, आप आपके पास वो एक्सेस है तो।
ओके, तो मैम अगर अनदर कोई टॉपिक लेते हैं जैसे पैकेजिंग वगैरह, लेबलिंग वगैरह, तो वो कर सकते हैं?
हाँ, कुछ भी कर सकते हैं, ऐसे नहीं है कि जो फर्स्ट ईयर में किया था उसको ही करना है सेकंड ईयर में, बट जो फर्स्ट ईयर में किया था उसको सेकंड ईयर में करना चाहते हैं। इफ यू वांट्स टू go for extensive study on the first topic, then they have to choose more objectives, more parameters which have already not covered in the first project, right? पहले जो नहीं किया है उस पार्ट को करना है।
ठीक है, एक क्वेश्चन और था मैम, लास्ट क्वेश्चन।
Can you just for the end of the presentation, because I'll finish within few minutes, then we can have interaction. Okay, please wait. I'm so sorry, please wait. Next topic is study and compliance to labeling requirement for domestic and imported food studies. See, this is related to your food standards, which is related to labeling and display. So you can go for a packaging related study, labeling related study. So you can compare the few products, the domestic labelable product or the imported food items. You can study their labeling, and you can see whether they are complying with our food safety standards regulations or not. What are the requirements? So you will study that standard first, regulation first. You know what are the mandatory component of that labeling, and whether these products have followed that one, what could be the reason of non-compliance, and how this problem can be addressed, what suggestions you can give. So these you can think of writing your objectives. For example, the student has written like to assess the extent of compliance with domestic and international food labeling regulation among food producers and importers, to identify the underlying factors that contribute to non-compliance, why they were not complying with, so that you can study, to measure the consumer awareness of food labeling, so you can interview the consumers also, how much they are aware about the food labeling information, what the different parameters, requirements they look for, in the food level, whether they are aware enough or not. You can go for that one also. Then the student has mentioned like that to analyze the red circle mark part you just see, that to analyze the potential risk and consequences of non-compliance with labeling requirements on food safety and public health. So this is not possible through this project dissertation. Okay. Suppose one of the product doesn't comply with the food safety regulations. So what will be the consequences? Means after having that food, what will happen to the consumers? You cannot study that one through this project work. So you don't write that kind of objectives in your project. Finally, the last objective that student has written, like to provide recommendations for improving and harmonizing food labeling regulations and enforcement. Here, one more example. One topic is related to the development of HACCP plan for high acidic product, pickle and chutney for industrial processing. And the student has written the red mark part. I have put in a red color box, red outline box to establish all the steps related HACCP on site practical basis in the food processing. So this is a too long topic. So you should write very specific, brief topic, not too long. So this second line, the red colored line, is not required in the title of the project or dissertation itself. The title can only be the first by the black letters like that, to develop HACCP plan for high acidic product for industrial processing. And the objectives students have mentioned that like the, to study and the concept of HACCP plan for a product pickle and chutney. To develop HACCP plan, first one is to study the concept, second one is to develop the plan for pickle and chutney on the practical basis in a working unit. Third one is to study the prerequisites before implementing HACCP plan for a product. Can any one of you tell me what are the prerequisite programs for HACCP? What are the PRPs? Have you studied about the PRPs?
The layout and
all the good hygienic practices, good manufacturing practices, all they are part of. Okay. So all these are prerequisite programs, right?
GTP.
So if you follow all this, means that will help you to implement the HACCP. These are the prerequisite programs. So if you are choosing this kind of topic related to the development and implementation of HACCP plan in any specific food industry, you can think of the similar kind of objectives.
And do curd come in this topic?
You can choose any food. Curd is also food.
In acidic.
In acidic also, yes, you can think. You don't have to mention like exactly the high acidic product. You can mention the product itself. You can write like to develop the HACCP plan for manufacturing of curd.
Mm-hmm. Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not telling you to follow this topic in toto. You can think of your own topic. This is just to give you an idea what kind of project already students have undertaken. Another topic is study of manufacturing practices of street food vendors and possible interventions of good manufacturing practices with respect to food safety. So just like the good hygienic practices, this is for the manufacturing practices, right? Then after the objectives, you have to write the research methodology. So research methodology should be in brief in your synopsis, but it should be in detail in your project final report, because synopsis is of 500 to 600 words only. Final report will be 60 to 80 pages for the project work. For dissertation, it can go for 100 to 120 pages. So there you have to give the details. Brief, how can you write? I gave you one example already for the street food vendors. Here is another example for the study methodology of the study outline for overall approach and procedure that for HACCP implementation, the student has written like the research design. The study will utilize a mixed method research design, combining the qualitative and quantitative approaches, and then has given a little bit of detail of that. Then data collection. The student has mentioned that multiple methods of data collection like the literature review, the surveys and questionnaires, then the interviews or focus group study. Then the student will go for the training module development. Then the student will deliver the training. So there is training delivery. After the training delivery, the student will take evaluate the effectiveness of the training module. So evaluation and feedback, and then documentation reporting. So everything the student has mentioned in detail in the synopsis. Another example of writing methodology. The student has written like the nature of present study is descriptive, whereas the study is empirical research. That means that will collect some primary data. Then for this research, exploratory as well as descriptive research chosen, and in the source of data mentioned like the mainly based on primary data collected from customers from 5 main supermarkets. So he give the detailed description of your sample and population. If the student is going to select the 5 main supermarkets, specifically mention the areas in Tricity, Chandigarh, Panchkula, Mohali, they need to have a mixed method approach, that even how many numbers of respondents from each area the student is going to interview, that also is mentioned. So you also try to mention that one. If you are going for such kind of study, at least try to address minimum 100 respondents. If you are going for street food vendors, then you go at least for 50 food vendors. In the tools and techniques that students mentioned, the primary data will be collected by questionnaires. The data analysis, for data analysis, the student will use the MS Office and they represent the results with the help of the pie charts and graphs. You can also write that way. The sample size minimum 100, sampling method, simple random sampling technique will be followed, and period of research, the primary data collected from such and such date. That has to. So all these details, suppose you are going to study in a food industry. First you mentioned that in this study will be conducted in such and such food industry in such an area. Then I'm going to take, I'll be studying the different quality parameters of this product. So you mentioned that product there. Give the details, specific details of that product. Then when you are ready with your final report, your final synopsis, what you have to do, you have to submit the synopsis at the study center, at the regional center. So submit the synopsis. Not only the synopsis, you need to attach the biodata of your supervisor and the project or dissertation approval proforma, which is given there in the program guide. In the project guidelines, you'll find that there is one proforma for the approval of the project synopsis that you can also use for the dissertation synopsis. Fill up that form, get it signed by your supervisor, attach that biodata of your supervisor along with the synopsis, submit it to the regional center. Please, whenever you are submitting the hard copy, please keep a copy with you. If sometimes it gets misplaced in the regional center, then you can again submit your project synopsis. So keep a copy with you. If you are asked to submit it online, please submit it online through the link which is given in the regional center website. Whenever you are submitting the hard copy or the soft copy, please mention the course code, that is for project work MBPP003, or for the second year project course MBPP004. For dissertation, it is MBPP002. If you are submitting the hard copy, write it on the envelope itself. If you are submitting online, please mention in the first page course code MBPP002, 3 or 4. Then RC will evaluate that one, give you the approval or they may reject also. They may reject the synopsis on the two main grounds. Either the supervisor is not approved. If the supervisor's qualification, it means eligibility criteria, if the supervisor doesn't meet the eligibility criteria as given in the program guide, then the RC may not approve the supervisor. Okay, then they may ask you to change the supervisor and resubmit the proposal. In another case, if you have not written the synopsis properly, then also they can reject your synopsis. If the synopsis is not approved, then they will send you the comments for reformulating the project and you have to submit the synopsis, revised synopsis again. While resubmitting your revised synopsis, please submit the revised synopsis, revised proforma, and the copy of rejected synopsis or proposal proforma bearing the comments of the evaluator and the project proposal number allotted by the RC already. So for revised synopsis submission, you please attach all the previous documents. Then comes the components of the project report. So that is also mentioned in the project guideline. So first thing, again, same as synopsis, it is the introduction. Introduction for synopsis, you might have written just one paragraph. Here you can go for 2 to 3 pages, 4 pages maximum. So introduce the topic, give the detail, means why do you need to go for such type of research study. So you establish your point, means there is research gap, knowledge gap, so you need to undertake that study. Then objectives, the same objectives you have mentioned in your synopsis which are approved, you write that one only. Then give the detailed account of the review of literature. In synopsis you have given just 2 to 3 or maximum 4 review of literature, you give the detail. There may be 50 or hundreds of review of literature in the relevant subject area. Okay. Then in methodology also, again, detailed research methodology. The analysis and findings. This is the new component in the report. It was not a part of your synopsis. So after doing the project or research, you will have the data, you will analyze the data. So you have to write your findings and analyze your result. Then you can write some suggestions and conclusions or summary part, and at the end of the report, there should be the bibliography of the references. For example, in the review of literature, I already told you about how to write the review of literature in synopsis very briefly, but here you can go for the detailed one. For example, street food vending and overview. You can give one, you can see there are more than 100 words for one review. Thai et al. 2021 investigated the food safety status of street food vendors in the city of Toronto. So much detail is there, but that has to be relevant to your study. Whatever parameters you are studying in your study, if you find any study which also have covered such parameters, you can give the detail of that one. Okay, so that way you can write the review of literature for your final report. And research methodology, I have already told you have to give the detail of the methodology which you are following. If you are going for some chemical analysis, microbiological analysis of any parameters, give the detailed methods. It's how much sample you need to take, what the test you have to do, what are the chemicals you need to take. So every detail you have to give. For other study also, give the detailed research methodology. After that, you just analyze the data and how you should present your result and discussion part. For that, you will definitely write some texts, but along with that, you can present your data in different forms. It can be in the percentile form, can be the frequency table, it can be the line graph or bar diagram or pie chart. So depending on the requirement, so depending on your results, your data, you can go for different types of presentation, graphical presentation of your data. And please, whenever you are doing the project or research work, if you go for street food vendors, GHP, GMP studies on street food vendors, you take the photo of the street food vendor. If you are studying 20 street food vendors, you take photographs of 20 street food vendors, means the vending cart along with the vendor. If you want to highlight the points, but for the good practices that person is following, or for the bad things, what are the lacuna there in the street food vending, so take the photograph of that one, definitely with the permission of the street food vendor. You take the photograph. If you are going for study in the hotel, restaurants, or any food industry, take their permission, take a photograph. If you are doing any practice research on the lab testing, so if you are preparing the culture media, if you are preparing any food product for any chemical study or microbiological study, you take the photograph of that thing and you just use that photograph in writing your result analysis and discussion. So that will help you to convince the evaluator that you have done that things, you have done that research or project on your own. And try to use good parameters, graphical presentation, whether it is bar diagram, column diagram, line graph, pie chart, anything, whatever you are using, try to use it carefully so that it will help you to get the good scores. After the discussion, there will be bibliography or references. I have already explained how to write the references. Follow the APA style, and you can see how the APA style the reference is written. Then, while submitting your project synopsis or report, you have to keep something in mind for project report. Submit the report in original A4 size typed in double space. For project report, it can be 50 to 60 pages. And for dissertation, it is of 16 credit course. So you have elaborate studies, so you can write 80 to 100 pages or 120 pages maximum, then submit it to the regional center. For submission of the final report, you have to attach all the relevant papers like the approved project proposal or dissertation proposal pro forma, then approved synopsis and biodata of the supervisor, and originality certificate duly signed. Originality certificate is also the pro forma is given in the program guideline. And mention the project report MBPP 003 or 004 on the top of the envelope. Keep a copy of report for reference purpose, and you can submit it anytime throughout the year, but the result declaration will depend on the time of your submission. If you submit your final report, today is 21st of January, right? If you submit by 31st May, before 31st May this year, then your project result or dissertation result will be published along with the June term end examination. You will have theory term end examination in June. So the result will come around in July or August or September. So along with that result, you can expect your project course result also, if you submit before 31st May. If you submit even after that, after 31st May, but before 30th November of this year, then your result will come along with the term and result of the December examination. And if you're planning to submit it by 31st May, so I must tell you that the approval of your synopsis takes long time. Sometimes it takes 3 to 4 months also. So if you want to submit by 31st May, please submit your project synopsis immediately by end of this month or the first week of February, so that you can get the approval of the synopsis timely. You can conduct the project to dissertation and you can submit the final report before 31st May. So this is the example of the certificate of originality. The pro forma is given in the program guide. So it has to be signed by you and your supervisor. This is the pro forma for the approval of the project proposal. This you can also use for the dissertation proposal. Just strike out that project part and write that dissertation proposal. So fill up the form, get it signed by your supervisor, and you also sign it. These are the important notes for the dissertation report. The same like the project report, only difference is that the volume of study is more. So you can write few more pages. For the dissertation, you are expected to write 80 to 100 pages. All the rest of the things will be same. You have to attach that proposal, means approved proposal pro forma, then synopsis, then approved synopsis and the biodata of the supervisor, originality certificate, and you have to mention the project code, means dissertation course code, that is MBPP 002 on the envelope. And if there is any link given for submission of your final dissertation report or the project report, please use that link and upload your final report. The result declaration for this is also same like the project course. If you submit by 31st May, you'll get the result in July, August, September. If you submit by 30th November, you'll get the after December exam. Now we'll show you some list of the suggestive topics. Like these topics are also given in the project guidelines. There are, so we have given you 20 suggestive topics, but you can choose any other topic, but it has to be relevant. It has to be related with the analysis of some food safety or quality issues. This is to help you to how you can choose your topic. Like the one topic can be study on effective implementation of corrective action, preventive actions as per QMS or as per FSMS, study of GHP of street food vendors, study of GMP in different food industries, development of training modules for workers on GMP, GHP, development of training modules for middle management, study on compliance to legal and customer requirements related to food safety, hygiene in a food establishment.
मैम सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट यू।
Yes.
हाँ, मुझे जीएमपी इन डिफरेंट फूड इंडस्ट्रीज के लिए पूछना था कि जैसे डिफरेंट फूड इंडस्ट्रीज में भी अगर हमें एक पर्टिकुलर इंडस्ट्री में काम किया तो हम उस पर्टिकुलर इंडस्ट्री के बारे में लिख सकते हैं कि
हाँ हाँ
GMP
हाँ
उधर जो यूज हो रहा है बेसिकली।
हाँ, उधर जो हो रहा है आपको, अब GMP स्टडी करना है इंडस्ट्री में, वी शुड नॉट गो फॉर 4-5 इंडस्ट्रीज। एक ही इंडस्ट्री में आप कंसंट्रेट करो, उसका GMP पूरा स्टडी करो, ठीक है। व्हाट आर द करंट प्रैक्टिसेस, व्हाट आर द इंप्रूवमेंट्स दे नीड,
एक
तो वो
पर्टिकुलर
सारे
प्रोडक्ट पे कर सकते हैं ना हम।
एक पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट पे भी कर सकते हो आप,
जी ओके
ठीक है। फिर स्टडी ऑन appropriate CCP identification for a food establishment. किसी भी food, if you are going for study the CCP in any kind of food industry, you can go and you can choose any one product and you can identify the different CCPs in that product processing line. Then after CCP, you can take a topic like study on CCP monitoring, corrective actions and verifications in a food organization. You can study the existing food laws and standards, like there are so many laws. Standard laws related to licensing, registration of the food business, laws related to food products, food additives, related to contaminants, residues, toxins, related to packaging, related to laws on regulations, display, laws on vegan food, organic food, alcoholic beverages, laws on food tasting, laws on health supplements. Then there are alcoholic beverages. There are so many regulations, standards are there. Okay, so you can study any of that regulations or implementation of that regulation. Then you can go for study on internal external communications in an organization for compliance to FSMS or QMS. You can go for study on effective cleaning of equipment in a food establishment. Go for hygienic practices at raw material suppliers premises. Study on suitability of packaging material at various stages of processing. Study on compliance to labeling requirements for domestic and imported food products. Study on waste management, liquid and solid waste management. Study on pest management. Study on method adapted for establishing shelf life of a product. Sorry. Study on allergens, intolerance, their control in a food product. Study on calibration of instruments in food industry or lab. So this, you can take this topic as it is, or you can think otherwise also, but it has to be related with the food safety or quality management issues. So finally, when you submit your report, when you write your project report or dissertation report, you should be careful while writing your report, because there is no viva voce component for your project or your dissertation. There will be only 100 marks for your final report. So please be careful while writing your project topic and objectives and the research methodology. So that means for that purpose, task definition and approach, you will get 25% of marks. Then writing the right literature review and findings and analysis, you will get 50% of the marks. So try to make it presentable. Try to use more of the graphical presentations. Analyze the data scientifically. Try to collaborate, means link it with the statistical, whether it is statistical significance is there or not. And use more and more photographs, graphical charts, diagram, etc. So that will help you to get another 25%. How well you communicate your idea and how well you present your whole project, how well you present your data results, that will help you to get 25% marks. So if you divide the 100%, you'll get task definition approach 25, literature review findings analysis 50%, and communication of ideas and presentation 25%. So that's all about your project and dissertation course. Now I'll tell you about the seminar course. For master students only, this is the MBPS 001. In the second year, you have to present one seminar orally, that is of 1 credit. So that means you have to choose any topic related to food safety and quality related. Okay. So you have to choose the topic, you have to prepare your presentation, you have to prepare your PowerPoint presentation, because for oral presentation that will help you. You have to present it at the study centers normally. If the study centers are not organizing the seminar, please contact your regional center. Sometimes regional center also conduct the seminar course. Then that will be, you will be evaluated on the basis of your presentation, and after your presentation there will be interaction with your evaluator who will ask you the questions. On the basis of that, you will be evaluated out of 100 marks. So seminar course will have 100 marks. Next is the MOOC Massive Open Online course. The compulsory course is MVP 008, which is Novel Technologies for the Food Processing and Shelf Life Extension. I already
Ma'am,
told you this is
please show
offered.
the last slide, please, ma'am. I want to screenshot it.
Okay. Okay, no issue. I'll share this presentation with you through email.
Okay. Thanks, ma'am.
I'll send it to all the students.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, then MOOC course is the novel technologies for food processing and shelf life extension. This is MBP 008. Earlier, what happened? You were supposed to register online in the SWIM platform. Then you have to submit the online quizzes and write the examination online. That was the procedure. And finally, you have to submit the certificate to the study center, to headquarter. But now, this last July onwards, the university has decided to conduct the examination for this MOOC course also. So what you have to do, you have to register yourself in this SWIM platform or NPTEL platform, this MOOC course, and this is offered only in January session. So that is the challenge of this program, because if you miss this January session, you have to wait till next year January session. So admission starts in December and it's still going on. Please register yourself in this course. If you have completed the first year of your masters, then only you can register. Okay. Then you read all the videos and the study materials which are given there in the website, and you can also write the quizzes there on online. You can write the online examination also. That way you will get the online certificate, but that will not help you to complete this MSc program. So you have to write the assignments which are given in the IGNOU website for this course, and you have to submit it to the study center. Now, earlier we were asking the student to send it to the headquarter only. So this session onwards, we'll receive the assignments in the study centers along with all the courses, all the course assignments. Okay. So you write the assignments, submit it to IGNOU, and then you fill up the exam form for term and examination of this course, just like any other theory courses of your program, and write the term and examination. Okay. But compulsory component, you have to register online, otherwise you will not be able to go through the study materials. The study material is available only through online.
Ma'am, I have one question.
Yes.
Actually, पिछले साल का क्या हुआ कि सेकंड ईयर के सेकंड के 2 सब्जेक्ट्स के हमें बुक्स ही अवेलेबल नहीं हुई हैं अभी तक।
हाँ, अभी तक नहीं है
जी मैम, इसकी वजह से एग्जाम भी नहीं दे पाए हम।
ओहो, उसका एक काम करना है, उसका प्रिंटिंग में गया है, बट अभी तक प्रिंटिंग होकर स्टूडेंट तक नहीं पहुंचा है. सो यू हैव टू डू वन थिंग, प्लीज एक्सेस द सॉफ्ट कॉपी. इफ इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉर यू टू रीड द सॉफ्ट कॉपी, प्लीज टेक ए प्रिंट आउट ऑफ दैट सॉफ्ट कॉपी.
मैम एक्चुअली प्रिंटिंग इज नॉट दैट मच इजी फॉर दैट, क्योंकि बुक्स बहुत बड़े हैं.
But then actually I'm sorry that you have to wait. It has gone for printing, so it will take another few months, I think.
Oh, okay. If it is possible, please arrange it as early as possible. For at least for students only. How many
actually
are there?
I have given it for printing, but that some meetings happens, then they give the permission for the printing, then the printer takes the job, then they give the material to IGNOU, then that will be sent to you by post. So that may take time, no? That's why if you don't want to lose your time, means you can go for printing of the soft copy available.
मैम अभी इस साल अभी नोवेल का जो एक कोर्स है 008, अभी इसको हम एनपीटीएल या स्वयं के प्लेटफॉर्म पे रजिस्टर कर देंगे.
हाँ, करना तो है ही, अभी इमीडिएटली करना है, बिकॉज लास्ट डेट इज अप्रोचिंग, आई थिंक. सो इमीडिएटली यू हैव टू डू दैट. एंड
उसके बाद में हमको असाइनमेंट, आरसी को असाइनमेंट देने. I have written it for the last session. Actually, that time it was supposed to be evaluated at the headquarter only. But this time we will request all the students to submit it to the assignment, submit it to the study center. हाँ, और एग्जाम हमें ऑनलाइन भी देना है, जो मल्टीपल चॉइस का होगा.
That is up to you. Online you can go for online examination, but that will not serve the purpose of your MSc program. You have to write the exam in IGNOU itself.
Okay, I mean we have to give the exams at.
It was not mentioned in the program guide. I have to make that correction in the program guide, and here also I have to make the changes in the slide because I have written here the mark sheet and certificate.
तो हमको दोनों जगह एग्जाम देने होंगे क्या, ये पूछ रहा हूँ.
नहीं, that's up to. Means online examination is not compulsory for this course now.
Okay. Now compulsory दे भी सकते हैं
हम. Because many students could not pass that online examination, and that program is offered only in January session. That's why you thought of conducting the offline examination for this course. So now this is the option for the students, that they can go for the, means they have to write the assignment in IGNOU, they have to write the examination.
फीस भरने के लिए हमको स्वयं प्लेटफॉर्म फॉलो करना है.
नहीं, फीस भी नहीं भरना है, वो रजिस्ट्रेशन है फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट.
ओके, तो अभी
नहीं होता
एग्जाम का जो फीस भरना होता है, तो फिर वो एग्जाम का फीस अभी IGNOU पे भरे.
if you want to write the online examination, then you give the fee there. Otherwise, there is no fee.
No, for IGNOU
Okay, ma'am.
theory examination है मैम।
IGNOU examination के लिए you have to submit the fee.
हाँ,
Yes.
वो तो अभी मतलब एग्जाम के 2 महीने पहले जो फिलअप करते हैं वही वाला ना?
हाँ, करना तो वही वाला। Yes.
हाँ।
Okay, ma'am.
मैम
That
अभी
means
तक हमने
to
जो भी
the
एग्जाम दिया है उसका अभी तक रिजल्ट ही नहीं आया है मैम।
आपने कौन सा एग्जाम दिया है?
फर्स्ट ईयर का एग्जाम दिया था हमने।
दिसंबर में?
नहीं, जून में, जुलाई में।
जून का रिजल्ट नहीं आया तो वो प्लीज फॉलो अप विद SED। नाउ वी आर चेकिंग द पेपर्स फॉर दिसंबर एग्जामिनेशन।
नहीं तो तब का तो रिजल्ट अभी तक डिस्प्ले ही नहीं हो रहा है। हमने कई बार मतलब वो रिजल्ट के प्लेटफॉर्म पे चेक किया और हमने अगस्त में हमने प्रैक्टिकल एग्जाम भी दिए, लेकिन तब भी हमारे RC सेंटर ने अभी फिर से हमारे प्रैक्टिकल के लिए नाम नॉमिनेट कर दिए।
अच्छा,
तो हम कंफ्यूज्ड है कि लास्ट टाइम
if
हमने
you have already written the practical examination, you just write to RC और आसपास RC है, if you can visit the
मैम
RC,
RC हमको मतलब रिप्लाई भी नहीं करती, फोन कम्युनिकेशन भी नहीं करती, ईमेल को रिप्लाई भी नहीं करती।
But you are sure that you have already given the examination?
Of course, ma'am. Physically, we have attended examination.
अच्छा, then you don't have to go for the second time. If you know that you have completed all the exams, then you don't have to repeat.
अभी सेकंड ईयर का एग्जाम में नोट्स के कारण मैं अटेंड नहीं कर पाया क्योंकि मुझे नोट्स ही अवेलेबल नहीं थे। तो सिर्फ फर्स्ट एग्जाम दिया मैंने सेकंड ईयर का। और जो सेमिनार है मैम,
actually there will be around 300 plus pages for one course. If you are ready to take the print out of that, then I can provide you the PDF file also.
Okay, ma'am.
So for the whole course, I can provide you the PDF file. You just write to us.
Yes, ma'am. Please provide that.
And now what about
I
those?
need to correct this. The last line of this slide, actually, I've written like that. Submit your mark sheet.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, actually, I tried to register
Sorry. I could realize that all of you want to speak at one time, but please wait.
Ma'am, actually, I
the
tried
last
to
slide,
register this course, ma'am.
then I'll just ask you for the interaction. Just wait for 2 minutes. 2 minutes more. Okay. So one was the compulsory course, that was MBP 008 MOOC course. There are 2 optional MOOC courses. One is on your first course, theory course, MBP 001, Food Fundamentals and Chemistry. The same theory course, I have developed the MOOC course. Okay. Again, the registration is free of cost. So you register yourself in that MOOC course. That will help you because we have uploaded 39 videos. So 39 videos will help you to understand the subject. You don't have to read the books that much. You can go through the videos. So for that, MBP 001 is there, and MBP 002, that is Food Laws and Standards, that is also you have developed one MOOC course. Again, same procedure. Register. It is offered in July and January, both the session. Free of cost registration. So on platform, you will find that link for registration. And video lectures are there, which will help you to understand the subject. These are not compulsory, optional, but as you don't have to pay any money, you just have to register so that if you get some time, you can go through the video lectures.
008 is compulsory on the
008 is compulsory for MSc student, and this MBP 1 and MBP 2, these are optional for both the groups, for PG diploma.
I mean स्वयं प्लेटफॉर्म पे नोवेल टेक्नोलॉजी का कोर्स रजिस्टर करना ही है ना, कंपल्सरी
करना ही है, मास्टर स्टूडेंट्स को करना ही है।
मैम उसमें जो 12 असाइनमेंट्स है वो भी कंपल्सरी है? स्वयं पे जो 12 असाइनमेंट्स है वो भी कंपल्सरी है?
अभी मैं क्या बोल रही हूँ, now there is a change actually. Just a minute. कहाँ गया ये?
मैम मैं रजिस्टर नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ MOOC कोर्स मैम। उसमें सेंटर का ऑप्शन नहीं आ रहा है, यूनिवर्सिटी का ऑप्शन नहीं आ रहा है।
अच्छा, stop presenting, 1 minute.
मैंने MOOC कोर्स पास कर लिया।
Just a minute, one by one. Okay, one by one. So I request all of you to raise your hand, then I'll ask you one by one. Whatever queries we have, I'll try to address everyone. So I'll just open that queue. Just a minute. Okay, first name there is someone has joined the session as a recipe spot. Do you have any question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I have a question about synopsis. If the synopsis is submitted by candidate only or other person is possible?
No. But synopsis, if it is online link is there, submit online, so anybody can upload on your behalf. Okay, if you want to visit the regional center and submit it, anybody can submit it. If you want to send by post, then it's anybody can do it. Okay.
Relatives or friends can submit?
Yes, yes. But you
Okay.
must write everything clearly, your enrollment number, your course code, your program code, right? Next one is Bharat Kumar Sharma.
Ma'am, I have one query also.
Okay.
The practical not attended first year, it's possible in next year?
Yes, please be in touch with your study center and you request your coordinator so that they don't miss your name. You just regularly you visit the study center or be in touch with them. Otherwise, they won't be inform you the practical schedule and you will miss it again. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And this is for everyone. If any one of you have not attended the practical in the first year, please be in touch with your study center. Second person, Bharat Kumar Sharma ji. Yes, what's your query?
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Madam, my question is related to project work. That PG डिप्लोमा जो है उसमें प्रोजेक्ट वर्क में क्या क्या, जैसे आपने बताया कि उसमें रिव्यू लिटरेचर भी करना है, तो क्या हमें वो भी करना होगा? सारा सिनॉप्सिस में सब कुछ बताना होगा ना?
हाँ सर, अभी तक मैंने जितना बताया ऐसे ही बताया कि प्रोजेक्ट हो, डिसर्टेशन हो, रिव्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर आपको करना है। सिनॉप्सिस में थोड़ा ब्रीफली लिखना है, एक पैराग्राफ लिखना है रिव्यू के लिए सिनॉप्सिस में, क्योंकि पूरा सिनॉप्सिस आपका 500 to 600 वर्ड्स में कंप्लीट होना चाहिए। बट जब फाइनल रिपोर्ट लिख रहे हैं उसमें डिटेल में रिव्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर 3-4 पेज 5 पेज भी हो सकता है। ठीक है,
ठीक है।
ओके, नेक्स्ट इज PSK रेड्डी।
मैम इट्स बिट अर्जेंट मैम, प्लीज।
बोल दिया मैडम।